Well, good afternoon, my friends, and welcome back to another video from yours truly, the Cumberland Outdoorsman. Today I'm out here sighting in a rifle for a friend of mine, and he brought it to my attention that it was bore sighted, supposedly, by one of the local shops, but then when I got it out here, the scope was actually loose inside the scope rings, so I tightened everything down, got everything centered, and I believe I have it fairly well sighted in now. Deer season for rifles starts here in a week here in Tennessee, and he wanted to get it out in the woods because it's a brand new gun. And what I've got here is the Ruger American. This one chambered in .270 Winchester. It's wearing a 3x9 loophole scope with a 50mm objective lens, and this one here has a synthetic stock, has a removable magazine. It comes with a fluted barrel and a muzzle brake that's attached to the barrel. So that should reduce recoil somewhat, although the .270 is not too hard to handle in regards to recoil. It has this nice recoil pad here, so it's a little bit cushy on your shoulder if you can't handle stiff recoil. But like I say, the .270 is not that bad for most shooters. What he's using today and what he brought to me are these Remington Core-Lokt 150 grain bullets. Now normally most people like to use a 130 grain in the .270, 130 grain bullet, but these are 150 grain soft point bullets, so they should do quite well on deer. Usually I would tend to use a heavier bullet for the .270 like that on bigger game like caribou or elk or anything in that category. However, it should be quite effective on deer, as I mentioned. So let's take a few shots down here and see how well this rifle performs. It's only had a few shots fired through it, and that was me sighting it in, so it's still practically a brand new rifle. I'll be timing my shots in between each firing of the rifle so as not to heat up the barrel. We're trying to break in the barrel properly and make sure that we give it time to cool down between shots. Anyway, he brought this gun to me today, so I thought I would take the opportunity to include it in this video and share it with you folks. So let's get to doing some shooting here. Okay, we'll get zoomed in on that 100-yard target. There's a 50-yard target to your right, but I've got the 100-yard target tacked up down there against that stump. And we'll take the first shot. Not sure exactly where this one will hit. I haven't tried the 100-yard target yet, but either way, should be able to get on paper anyway. Here we go. Okay, that one hit just about dead center on that target down there. Let's see where this second one goes. I've waited about 2 minutes between shots here. Okay, that one hit slightly to the right. We'll wait just a few minutes. Be right back with you. Okay, third shot. Okay. Now let's run down there and see what we've got. Take this cartridge out. There's the empty. Looks like we've got perfect head spacing, which I wouldn't expect anything less from a good company like Ruger. They make excellent firearms. Okay, gun is empty. Range is safe. All right. Approaching the target here, I see 3 bullet holes. All right. That was my first shot. That was the second shot, and that's the third one. So it's definitely shooting within an inch or so at 100 yards. Perfectly fine for deer hunting, since most shots around here are under 100 yards. Well guys, looks like my young friend has got a new deer rifle here that's very capable and quite accurate, I would say. This was the first ammunition that has been fired through this gun. These 150 grain Core-Lokt rounds by Remington. And, you know, to keep them in a circle like that at 100 yards, that's pretty well satisfactory, I'd say. You should have no trouble whatsoever making good shots on deer out past 300 yards or so. So, you know, the 270 being as flat shooting as it is, ideally, I would like for it to be about an inch high at 100 yards. You know, if you're going to hunt open fields like soybean fields or across a power line or something. But for here in the woods, that is perfectly fine. To be just about spot on at 100 yards. You know, if you're going to hit a spot that big on a deer, you're going to harvest that deer every time. So, you know, there's no telling what the potential accuracy of this rifle would be if I played around with some reloads, or some hand loads I should say, and different grain bullets and different types of powder. I could probably shrink that down to a one-hole group at 100 yards. I have no doubt at all. The 270 has always been an inherently accurate, perfectly accurate rifle, and I've got one that'll shoot under a half an inch at 100 yards, and I've taken several deer with mine. So anyway, if you like the Ruger American, I just thought I'd do a real quick little review on this gun and shoot it out here at my personal range. I'm not sure if it comes with this attachment from the factory. I personally wouldn't like that. That would get in my way as a hunter. But, you know, if you're a varmint shooter or a target shooter or whatever, I would say that a rest like that on the front of the gun would probably come in handy. But for a deer hunter, that would be too cumbersome for me. But, you know, to each their own. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you go deer hunting, I hope everyone has a good season this year. And remember, if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, no matter what your outdoor pursuit happens to be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But also remember, hit that like button, smash the bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this one will be coming your way. So until next time, y'all take good care of yourselves, get out there and enjoy the great outdoors. I'll be seeing you.